Alright, we're going to start our tutorial on how to add items to your WooCommerce and WordPress website, as well as the supporting features such as categories and tags. So first of all, we're going to go over to here, and we're going to click on the Products tab first. This will give you a list of products that are on the website. This, for example, is a gardening website, so we'll have lots of plants and gardening tools. Now, before we actually go into these, we're going to talk about these three areas over here. Categories are where you're going to find these products on your website. So this will give a general category on what type of object you're using for each of these. For example, we have clothing, we have herb seeds, we have herbs, plants, all the things you'd find in a gardening aisle. So to add a new one, you'll go over to here in the name section and name it. For example, if we're doing, say, a clothing apparel site, we might do like shirts. You can add a parent category, which is something that you're going to be able to search and then search under that one. So for example, shirts would fit under clothing. Then we can add a new category and shirts will appear over here. Yeah. Now, if we want something that's more of its own category, we could say, like, as this is a gardening store, we could say trees. And as trees don't really fit into any of these categories, perhaps they would fit into large plants. But as they don't really fit into any of these, we can make it have no parent and it will appear as its own category. And now if we go back over to our website, this will show a list of all of our things. Now we haven't put any of the items over here. We don't have any shirts on sale, so there won't appear anything here, as they won't appear in clothing also. But if you have add an item there later, it will appear on the categories over here and you can click on them and then they will refine it to only these results. So you'll be able to easily find what you want on the website. Next, we'll want to look over on the side here at tags. These are print products, and they help you find them on Google and other search algorithms, as well as make them easier to find on the website. Make a tag, let's say, I don't know, fruit tree. And we can add the tag on the side. And we can add that to products later. We can also create a tag like baseball cap and add that as well. Finally, we have attributes over here. Attributes are useful for when you have a product that has many variations. These can be something like size or like color or anything along those lines. So for example, if we want to create a tag, let's say size, we'd name our size here. We'd hit add attribute. Then after creating our new category, we can go over to the configure terms button. This will allow us to make a list of terms for our attribute, which are basically going to be the options a person can select from. So for example, we're using size here, so we can create small, add a tag, medium, and large. And then now we have that there. This will be useful for later. Now, after adding all of our categories, tags, and attributes, we're going to actually go to add products. So we could go here and we can look at a list of all of our products. And there's a add new button on the top here, and also a add new button on the side here. All right, we're going to start by clicking the add new button. Now there's going to be a bunch of new options. So we'll start off at the top here with product name. This is simply where you're going to put the name of your product. If we're, say, creating a cool baseball cap for your company, we would say baseball cap and put that up here. We also have the section below here, which we can add a description of the object. So we'd say a cool baseball cap you can wear on your head. Just whatever description you would like for your object. Now, before we go into setting any of the details of the object, we're going to go over to the side tabs over. These are going to have the categories, the tags, and later the attributes that we have already. So categories, we'd set this as, for example, clothing, and then it doesn't really fit into any of these other categories we made. But if we were making a lot of hats, we would put a hats category in the area we defined over here on the category tab. We also can go down to product tags. These will help us find it easier. So we'd add a tag. You can create custom tags here, such as baseball cap or hat. You can also look for some of the more common tags. Your website will likely have these based on what you have mentioned a lot. Okay, now that we've set that, there is one more category we can click over here, which is important, which is this is where you'll set the image of the product. To select whatever image you want, you'd click over here on the product image. You would select the file that you're going to upload, or you can just drag it and drop it over. So I've selected the image for this cap. You may add more items if you'd like, but for now we just set the one category here. And it will appear on the side over here. Next, we're going to start putting in details, allow people to find our products easier. This snippet preview up here will show what people will find when they put our product into Google or Bing or any other search engine. Product title here will show what appears in this snippet. So for example, we have product title, which is baseball cap, as we've always set that up here. A separator, which is just a dash. And then site title, which is nichiyama.com for this website. It also has a meta description, which is product short description. This is basically when people Google, if you set your product description, it'll be easier to find on the internet. Now we're going to go down to the bottom down here. Now, first one down here is going to be the price. Price is pretty easy. The first one is obviously whatever your price. Let's say this baseball cap costs $5. And if we wanted to have a sale at any point, we could choose what price would be shown here. For example, we'd say $3. Then when people go to our website right now, it'll show a $5 and it'll show it crossed out and a 3 beside it. Next, we can go down to the inventory tab over here. Inventory will do a few things. First of all, there's the SKU, the stop keeping unit. Basically, this is for ease of use for a user. You can set this to whatever code as long as it's unique from every other product on your site, and will allow you to easily find that specific product rather than have to type in hat and then search through all of the potential products with hat in their name to find them. Some of the options other here, we have a stock status button, which you can choose to say it's out of stock, it's in stock, it's on back order, anything along those lines. You also have the manage stock button. So you say our hat is in stock, but you have a manage stock button. This will allow you to set a quantity of the item. Let's say there we have 70 of this hat, and then we have the option to allow back orders here. So you can choose if people allow to buy more 70 hats there, and we will back order them. Most of the time you want to set this as do not allow. And the last one down here is a sold individually button. This basically means that you can only buy a maximum of one of this item, even if there are potentially more in the storage. All right, so next we have the shipping tab over here. We can set the weight and dimensions of this object. These won't be as important depending on what product you have, but they will show on the website so people know how big they are. And you can also set it so that it has specific different types of shipping. So we can set this hat to be 10 centimeters, 10 centimeters wide, and 10 centimeters tall. Finally, we have attributes over here. We can choose to add one of the attributes, say the size attribute we had before. And basically you can choose whatever terms, and these can be selected and added to the product, and those will appear under the product when people have taken it, and you have the option to pick which one you want. Now those are the basic options, but one other important option might be is that, for example here, a small hat, a medium hat, and a large hat are all the same price. And you might want to make it so a large hat costs more and a small hat costs less. So what you do there is you go to the simple product button up here, and you change it to a variable product. So you want to go to attributes, and you'll want to be able to click this button that says used for variations. Once you do this and save the button, you can go over to the variations tab over here, and it will show, you can create an attribute from all variations from this tab. When it's like up here, just say yes. And then it will show the 3 options here. So you have small, medium, and large. And you can go under here and you can make it so that this price is however expensive you want. Let's say the small hat is $4, medium hat is $5, and the large hat is $6. You can set the price, you can set the dimensions, you can change it that if the shipping is different on it, it shows there. You can also set a different description of the product. And those are the basic ways of setting an inventory on WooCommerce.